Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all well. This is Robert with 50 years of chess, or 51 years of chess now. As I pass that 50-year period where I'm still playing, still going strong. I want to show you another game, this one from chess.com this morning, about 30 minutes ago. I was playing someone called ChoCho41, a French person, and they've been on chess.com since about 2024 or 23, I think. So they've been on there a few years. It's just a game. I was playing white, and the game goes as follows. I open with d4, d5, e4, d takes e, and knight c3. This is known as the Black Madama Gambit. I play it a lot. I've played it many times. I've shown you some of my games, I think, playing this, and I do quite well with it. I'm really find it an interesting and fun way to play chess. Giving up a pawn, but you can get it back generally if you want to. As you can see, with bishop to g5, if I want to now, I can take the knight and then take the pawn. So it's no problem at all to play this. Now my opponent played e6. There are many ways you can play. e6 is one of them, but it's an admission to saying you can have your pawn back if you like. And so I took the knight, he took the queen, and then I took the pawn. That's how I like to go. So I've still got a tempi here against this player because he's under attack and he's got his queen out, and I've got a knight already out. So the queen's coming out, attacking the knight, so that the knight moves away, then he can get a piece out, and he'll have two pieces out to my one. But I don't mind that. I'll just develop another piece with bishop to d3. So that's two minor pieces out, and he's got his queen out far too early. So what's he going to do? He's now played knight to c6, attacking the d4 pawn. So I'll just play c3, protect that, and everything's cool. Bishop d7. Looks as though he may be planning to castle queenside, which is fine. I'll be able to attack against that later. But first of all, I've got to continue attacking the queen, making the queen move, and then I can develop yet another piece with queen e2. So that if he plays f5 and I move my knight away to d2, he's created a weakness. So he's castled just as I thought he would, and now I played f4. So I've really locked in that e5 square, so that e pawn cannot advance. If I ever manage to occupy that e5 square with a knight outpost there, with him unable to do anything about it, I get a major advantage from that. So he played f5. This is what I mean. Now once I go to d2, f3, and then d5, only that knight can knock that my knight off of d5, or his bishop, black square bishop, if he gets a chance. So I've gone back. He's played g5. So he's playing quite aggressively. He's playing quite aggressively, this guy. He's no fool. He's a player. He can play. So I took the pawn because I don't want my pawns to be messed up here on my queen side. He's taken with the queen, so he's made an awful lot of queen moves so far, and I'm going to make him make another one now with queen, knight to f3, attacking the queen. So he's pinning the queen. Don't know why really. My queen's protected. So I castled queenside as well. I consider my position a little bit better than his. He's pinning my knight to my king with bishop h6. So I'll just move my king out the way, and then if knight takes knight, knight takes knight, it's better than queen takes knight. So rook e8 from d8. I'm wondering whether I should have played it the other way around and brought the other rook from h8 to e8 may have been better. So now what I want to do is bring my rook across to g1 and then kick the queen away with h3. But I've just realised by doing that, if I wanted to put my knight in now onto e5, it's got knight takes knight, pawn takes knight, or queen takes knight, then he's got bishop c6. I'll lose exchange. So that was a bit of a mistake. So he's gone back to g8, still concentrating on pushing his e pawn. So I brought my knight into c4, getting ready to bring a knight into e5, bring my knight into e5, and then I got a very, very good position. So he's trying to double his rooks up, and as he thinks of that, I brought my other rook back, so that if that ever happens where he goes bishop to c6, he won't be able to win the exchange. Now he's doubled the rook, so I can't allow him to consider at any time pushing that pawn on. So I've gone in knight into e5 from c4, and that is really locked in tight now. I think I've got nearly a winning position here. Not because I've got more pieces or anything, but my pieces are better placed and in their primary squares. Really, really looking good. He's got a bishop on d7. That's really, really poor. And his knight I haven't got much going for it except taking my knight. His queen going no place. Bishop's about his best piece, really, on the c1 h6 diagonal. So he's took my knight off and I retook my knight. So there we are. Unless he can get his bishop on to g7 and swap it off for my knight, then this knight would dominate the game. Yeah, he's moved his king across to b8. Not sure yet why, but we'll find out. I think it's to bring the bishop back. So I brought the other rook across central now, and I saw my pieces really well placed, and I like my position very much. So he's played his bishop out to a4. I really, really don't know why he's done that, except perhaps to try and draw my pawn up to b3 and make him go back again so as to slightly weaken my pawn chain. But I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to challenge him with my bishop, forcing a swap off. And when I go queen into b5, the threat then is knight into 6 check. He can't take the pawn, he has to move the king, and then I can win the exchange on d7 if I wish. Or on the other hand, I could just leave the knight where it is in that superb square of e5 knight outpost. So he took the bishop, I retook, and now my queen is dangerously close to his king, and I'm definitely winning it this time. So he's moved the king in the corner. He saw knight c6, so he spotted that. So I've got to think of a plan. So it's okay having this positional advantage, but you've got to make something of it. Otherwise, the time will run down and neither of us will win and probably end up being drawn. So I'm going for the win. I'm playing a4. He's played rook to d8. So he can play rook to d5 attacking my queen. I've got a plan where the best square would be. Probably c4, because then he can't attack it. So I brought the queen back to c4 as a proactive move before he plays rook to queen 4, and that way I don't lose rook to queen 5, so as I don't lose a tempo there. So he's brought the rook in the queen 5, and I played b4 now. So the pawn's pushing forward. I'm trying to find a way of gaining an advantage. He's brought his queen down to g5. Well, my king is safe enough, but there is a place where he can penetrate my position with his queen, threaten the a pawn, and I'd be very close to my king, which I don't want. So I'm going to just play rook to f2 to prevent him from doing any of that, and I can even move d2 to solidify my central position. So he's moved his bishop back. He wants to swap, no doubt, bishop for a knight. So I'm going to leave it there, and if he does take it, I can retake it with a rook. So he's moved his pawn on. That's probably his best move. It's not bad at all. Gives them options to check me on f5 with nothing else. But it is opening my position up a little bit. So I've got to play pawn takes pawn, queen takes pawn. And I move my king up. What I think is best here is to play king up to b3 to get off the back two ranks, the bottom A and B rank, so that he can't check me down there. So he's played a6. He's responding to my pawns pushing up. And now I've moved up to b3. So the king is safely tucked away for now. Can't get it at all. And now he's moved his king into a7. So what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? I don't really want him taking my really great knight with his poor bishop. So I think the answer is a push on b5 first of all, which he's got to do something about, because even if he took my knight and then I go pawn takes, it's gonna offer a queen swap, or I could take rook takes, which is better. And if rook takes rook, rook takes rook. And he still hasn't, although he can come down to c1, which is annoying. So he's avoided swapping pawns. He wants to keep the pawns closed so that he's got somewhere for his king to hide. So he's played a5. And now I brought the knight back. I think the time has come. I got a feeling he's going to chop that knight off for his bishop. So I brought my knight back because this knight is a very important piece for me. I don't want to lose it on e5. He can't push that pawn forward to e pawn because I'm hitting that place 4 times, and it would be worse for him because he would lose the c7 pawn afterwards. So he's moved the queen down. I think the ideal is if I move my rook, there might be a problem. So what I did was I moved it forward 1 square to e3. Keep chasing this queen, because you should never allow the opponent's queen to get near or around your king if you can drive it away. So keep driving it away when you can. So he's gone back to g4, and I've played h3 again to just kick it out of there. So if I play knight into c5 now, that gives me 3 attacks on this pawn on d6. Also, it's getting near and around his king. But I have to be wary of queen down to b1 check. I can't get out of there while my queen's in the way. So I have to try and move that queen in a minute. And then I can always escape to c4. So I've played my knight into c5. I'm okay. My rook's covering b1. I want to see what happens here. He's now attacking my rook, the bishop, which is to be expected. So I took the pawn. Rook takes pawn on e5. Rook takes rook. I can't take with the rook because of queen. Queen to b1 check, king to a3, and then he can bring down the bishop, and that's mate. So I've got to be careful. So I take with the knight. That's okay. And then he attacks the rook. Very good move. Now really I should play rook d1. So that if I did take the rook after he took the knight, if I took the rook and he comes down to e1, I can always move my rook away from that square, keep it on that rank, and then even if he checks me, I can move the rook in the way. But I decided anyway I would take the pawn on c7 because now I'm threatening his rook as well, and I'm a pawn up. So I think I played the right move here. Now he's taking the rook because he wants to get that move. He wants to get that move. Queen b1 checking and just get a perpetual on a1 and b1 because I've got nowhere else to go. So this is why I've taken with the queen on d5. So now if he checks me on b1, I can go to c4, and if he checks me on to c5, offering a queen swap, and I'm 2 pawns up, got the better game, I'm winning this. What can you do about it? So he does check me. I go up to c4. He checks me on a2 as I thought he would, and now I've gone king to c5. Now he needs to be careful because he's in a mating net here. I can play b6 check. He goes back to b7, b8. He goes back to b8, and I checkmate him on d8. So he's the one who's under the mate threat now. He really ought to just swap off queens and try and hang on. But what he did, which was another thing he could do, but this loses because now he's played b6. I just moved my king into c6, and I've got him in a mating net here. He's not going to get out of this unless he swaps off queens. If he doesn't swap off queens now, then he's in serious trouble because I can just move my knight back to e6, check him on d7, and then checkmate him when he goes in the corner to a8 or b8. So he's taking the pawn on a4. Don't know why he's played that. That's not going to save him. It's too late now. He should have took the queen. Knight to e6. He's played the bishop over to h4, and so it's checkmating 2 with check on d7. King goes to b8, and then queen b7 mate. So there we are. This was an interesting game because once I'd established a strong knight in the centre and everything's locked in there, you have to try and think of a plan of how to attack your opponent and finish the game. You've done the donkey work, getting the advantage, but now you have to take the initiative and push as far as you can without no danger of exposing your king. I was able to push those pawns up with no worry of my king being exposed, not until it was too late, and when his checks just don't lead to anything, because I was able to go to c6 and he couldn't check me no more. I'm on a white square and this black square can't do a thing. So I hope you liked this and you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me some thumbs up or a like, and also if you want to comment at all on any of the games, anything you've seen or you saw in the game that you you think I may have got wrong, or that you saw an improvement, I'm always open to being taught myself. Of course, I've been taught by people. That's how I improved, as well as learning myself by playing and learning from better players. And I'm hoping that anyone out there who's watching, who may be a beginner or looking to improve to get to maybe the level I'm at, then please keep watching, and I'll do my best to try and give you instructive information and guidance on how to play better chess. So thank you for watching. This is Robert, and I'll be with you again with another 51 years of chess very soon. Okay, take care. Bye bye.